Oh my God, you guys. Matt and I are at, I'm ready to cry. Matt and I are at Valley Medical Group downtown across from like the airport. And the doctor comes in and I said what was going on with Matt and how he needs to be referred to a specialist for the disease. And she said, it's not a permanent disability. And I said, yes, it is a permanent disability. And I said, do you want to see? Because you can look at it and see that it is a permanent disability. It's not going to, his skin's not going to grow back. He's missing armpits and privates going all the way around up his tailbone and his back. And she started yelling at us and she said, I'm the doctor. And I said, well, if you're the doctor, aren't you going to look before you say what's wrong and that it's not permanent? And she said, I don't like your attitude. I'm going to find you guys a different doctor. And I said, we're just here for the referral. And if you're going to say he's not permanently disabled without looking at him, there's an issue there. I said, you got to look at him. You're the doctor. She goes, well, I'm not looking at him. And she started yelling at us and stormed out of the room. Matt's out there talking to the receptionist, like, I mean, and then I asked the lady, I said, did you look in his file? And she said, no, he's not permanently disabled. And I said, look in his file. It says he's permanently disabled. And look at his condition. You can't not refer him to a specialist. He needs to see a specialist so he can get the right medication that he's been needing to prevent these things from continuing to happen. It's an autoimmune disease. And she said, we're not going to see you here. And I said, we just got here for a referral to a surgeon, somebody who can help Matt with the situation. And if you're not going to look at his situation or look in his medical charts to refer him to a specialist, are you even a doctor? It's like a joke. So she said, I don't like your attitude. And she said, we can't be seen. We've waited all this time to see a doctor just so he can get referred to a specialist for his disease. And she said she didn't like my attitude because I told her, you can't say he's not medically disabled by looking at him. You have to take his clothes off and look at him. And she said, I won't do that. I said, well, then look in his charts. She goes, I'm just walking in on this. I've never seen this before. I said, then you can't say he's not medically. Yes.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Hi there.
Your son's outside.
Yeah.
And I told him to come back to the room. He said he doesn't want to come.
He's so upset. Can I talk to you for a second?
Actually, I mean,
Is there another doctor here available?
I was just asking for that.
Yeah. Why are you having so much of a problem with it? Because you had said he's not permanently disabled without even looking.
Like I said, we're not having the same conversation. So if you guys would like to, we can do it. And otherwise, I should schedule with somebody else.
We just want a referral to see a doctor.
Right.
For his condition that he's been suffering with.
Right.
And you're saying you don't like my attitude?
I would like somebody else to be here too.
Okay. I'm going to turn this phone around so you guys can be my witness. I'm ready to cry. The treatment Matt has been getting has been horrific. And I just want you guys to see what we're dealing with these doctors. I'm so upset. I mean, there's no excuse for that. Why can't she just give him a referral to a specialist?
think that he's interested in you.
Well, of course he's interested in seeing anyone else.
Okay, that's fine.
Like honestly, I think the medical board needs to know about you. And
Yeah.
for good.
Got it.
Wow, lady. I mean, seriously, psychiatric help at least by the minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to?
Recording the
Oh, I sure am. Yes, you're on. You've been on live since we got here. So I'm going to report this to the medical board because the whole thing you said
That's all right.
was horrific.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You won't even look at him, and you said you wouldn't even help him.
Actually, that's not what I said at all.
Tell,
You need to stop.
tell us what you said. Nope.
I would send her home
Nope.
and not let
Go
any
ahead.
of the patients here ever.
Tell everybody. Tell the whole world because they've seen and heard everything you said. The whole thing was recorded.
Okay, ma'am, can we?
Sure, I'll unrecord when I leave. Can we book with a different doctor while we're here?
No, we're good.
No, it's not fair for you, Matt. It's not fair for you that she won't help.
No. I'm only gonna report it to the manager and the.
Yeah, that was the worst thing I ever saw in my life.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, we will call them. Horrible. I'm so sorry, but honestly,
I understand.
I'm a real estate broker.
No, I understand.
And I was like, she said he's not permanently disabled. I said, well, how can you say that without looking at him? And she's like, would you like a different provider? Because,
Why don't you call Anna, okay? and
No, we're
the
leaving.
Supervisor and have her deal with the situation.
yes, please. Could you, is there a supervisor?
She's not.
Can we talk to her?
But
Thanks. Oh, please. Thank you. Oh, we will leave. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
yeah.
All we wanted her to do is refer us to a specialist because he has an autoimmune disease, so he's missing his armpits and his groin and his back. And all I did was ask her, and she said he's not disabled. I said, well, how can you show him your armpits?
sorry. No,
Just
you're
show
okay.
him.
It's okay.
No, show him. Show him so he knows what we're dealing with.
No.
Please, you should see.
I'm just trying to diffuse the situation.
All we needed was a referral to a specialist, and I had the DMV paperwork because he has missing balls and all that stuff down there.
We understand, ma'am, but one, we don't give you permission to record us.
Okay, that's fine.
And I can offer you an appointment, and
Yes.
also we have the supervisor on the line. So
Yes.
Anything else we can help you with?
Yes, just how do I speak to her? She's on the line.
We're over here.
Okay. Well, I just hope she was having a bad day, and she's not always like that. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so now, just for documentation, I am still recording because I'd like the conversation. Could you put it on speaker when you talk to her, Matt? Because this is absolutely, I'm so upset. Totally uncalled for. I mean, I don't even know what we did wrong. You guys, this is what we've been dealing with. This is why when people are like, why are you so upset? We just came here just to get a referral for Matt to see a specialist so he can go on medication. And I had a DMV paperwork for him for his handicap placard. Not a big deal. I mean, you know, he could live without it if he had to. But it hurts when he walks. He goes through underwear like crazy because of his situation downstairs. And she had the balls to say he was not permanently disabled. And I had checked the box saying permanently disabled on my part of the application, which I filled out for Matt. She has her own part on the application that she can say it's temporary. And they go by what the doctor wants. But for some reason, she said he's not permanently disabled. And I said, well, he's not going to grow that stuff back. He's not going to grow back skin. And she got angry with me.
I was ready to punch that bitch out.
Oh, honestly, Matt, I want to strangle her too. And I don't get like that. I've never even spanked my kids.
No, I literally was sitting there like, she's really staring us down, like, talking shit to me? Like, fuck.
I've never, ever, ever, ever been so offended. Like, how hard? And then she got mad just because I checked. She was mad because I checked the box
Yeah.
that said you were permanently disabled.
Yeah, and then she's like, I make that choice. No, dumb
And I
bitch.
said, well, that's not your page. You have a separate page. I can say That's what we're asking
Then
for.
how the fuck do I get disability if I'm not fucking disabled?
And why does your
And by the
disability
way-
say permanent?
By the way, the one form I got the other day said I'm permanently disabled.
I know. And I told her that. I said, well, if you look in his charts, and I said, honestly, you know, you could fill out your page the way you want to fill it out. And she got all offended, and I said, yeah, it's just how... Hi, Bill. I see you're watching. We're
hold
having
on.
such an upsetting time.
They're calling.
Okay, sure. They're calling.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Anna calling from Golden Valley Health Center. Is this Mr. Matthew McDonald?
Yeah.
Hi. So I received a call from the staff there at the tonight location that you were requesting to speak to a supervisor.
Yeah, and probably a different provider. I would not have that, like, whatever her name is, Diana,
Well, tell her why.
see any other patients.
It was horrible.
Like, cause like, probably my first 2 minutes in there, I was asking her questions because I literally have holes in my armpits and, like, holes in my groin. Like, that pretty much eat away my skin. So then my paperwork says I'm permanently disabled. And then she goes, you're not disabled at all.
Yeah.
And then just, like, literally stared us down and she goes, I'm the professional. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah. And I said to her, if you don't mind, I said to her, I know you're just seeing him, but did you review his charts? She goes, I don't have to do that. I can see him. And I go, Matt, take your clothes off. And she goes, no, don't you take your clothes off. I said, well, maybe you should see him because he has no armpits. He has no groin area and no tailbone, no back. I said, that's not going to grow back together. I said, he's actually on permanent disability. And the only reason we're here is because, I said, all he needs is a referral because there's a medication he should be on for his disability to help it so it doesn't keep growing more blisters. And I said, oh, we're only here for a referral for that. And I said, I brought DMV paperwork. She goes, that's the problem. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, you checked permanent disability. I go, yes, ma'am. I said, but that's my form that I filled out because he's on permanent disability. He has a permanent disability. And I said, your form is if you don't agree, but if you're going to say he doesn't, I need you to look at him or just check his charts because he's permanently disabled, ma'am. And she just looked at me. She goes, do you want a different provider? And I went, huh? She goes, do you need a different provider? And I go, yeah, we need a referral to a different provider. Yeah, a specialist. That's why we're here. She goes, well, I don't like your attitude. I'm not going to help you. And I said, I'm sorry. I don't understand. Are you joking? And she goes, no. And I go, well, all I'm saying is you can't say he's not permanently disabled if you haven't looked in his record or just checked him out. So I said, sorry, that was spam. So I had said, you know, all we're here for is a referral. And if you look in his record, you'll see he's permanently disabled. He's on permanent disability. And I said, the part I checked was just the patient information. I said, I didn't check your box on your form. If you truly look at him or check his medical records, I said, you can make your own judgment. You're the doctor. And she said she wasn't going to help us. And then she had attitude because I started recording. I actually recorded the whole thing if you want me to send it to you. And she had said, the reason I started recording was because of just being
super rude.
Yeah, just off the wall. Like I was like, huh?
Like staring us down, like almost treating us like we're stupid.
Yeah. Because I think maybe, I don't know.